Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this is going to be an exciting video. We get to take a look at King Arthur Legends Rise. This is a game that I have been anticipating for a very long time. By the way, you can try it out completely free of charge down below in the show notes. I'll provide the links you need to try this out on mobile or PC and whatever device you like to play on. But yeah, as far as King Arthur Legends Rise is concerned, this is a game where I had the opportunity to fly out to California last year and take a look at this game live in person with some of the people there working on it. Part of a really fun production where I got to hang out with other creators in the scene, try out the game, give some feedback, and interact with some of the developers here working on the project. And it's not very often that we get a new medieval dark fantasy art style hero collector RPG hitting the market, which are my favorite kind of game. So I definitely think it's worth trying out to see if you like it. And in this video, I'm going to go over some of the basics and mechanics that you're going to want to know about when you're diving in to try out King Arthur Legends Rise. And I'll have more videos coming out here on the channel diving into stuff. So if I don't cover every single aspect of the game in this video, stay tuned and we'll dive into more topics as we go along. But I want to give you at least a foothold of understanding the game in general for when you dive in trying it out. So, okay, there's going to be a lot of things that you recognize in this game, like the general loop of acquiring new heroes that are exciting to collect, and then picking out which ones are more optimal for you and the strategies that you're going for on your account. You build them up, you put gear on them, take them into battle, you farm things like experience and equipment to put on the heroes you've collected, and then you try to get stronger and stronger so that you can complete better content and also perform better in PvP, which is the Colosseum in this game. But what I like about King Arthur is that they are trying to bring some new things and some innovation to the hero collector genre. They've also incorporated some city building type mechanics. So you can see right here, if I pull up my build menu, which will unlock once you progress for a little bit, it's fairly early in the game, you'll unlock this build mechanic right here, where you can actually level up things like a lumber yard and a steel mill. Let me move my camera a little bit so you can see here. You can actually level up things like a lumber yard and steel mill that are going to help you collect resources to kind of develop your town, and you also get a little bit of that feel of developing your area as you progress further in the game to help you out instead of just developing your heroes, which I really love. It's a new dynamic and a really fun mechanic. So right now our lumber yard is level 3, our steel mill is level 2. Let's go ahead and upgrade our steel mill and get that cooking here for a while. Then it gives you a countdown for how long that's going to take to upgrade, and you kind of want to log in and keep those upgrades flowing as you keep those resources spent. And all around your main town, central hub type area here, there's going to be all sorts of different areas for you to interact with and explore based on what you're trying to do in the game currently. Now, Lake Avalon is going to be where you acquire new heroes and summon champions on your account. Like right now, you'll see they've got a couple rate up summons, which are honestly pretty reasonable. You can see that every 60 rate up summons, you're going to be guaranteed to get that specific champion, which is very realistic to acquire. I've already gotten a few copies of Merwin, and I've been working on kind of developing him to be as strong as possible. Because one of the cool things is right out the gate on launch, there's going to be a bonus if you are able to summon a certain hero multiple times. Like you can see here, my Merwin, I'm able to do the chivalry and unlock this bonus right here where even their abilities and stats can get stronger by rewarding you for playing long enough and developing your account long enough to get some copies of these heroes rolling. But also in that same thought, it's not only legendary heroes that are useful for you. There's some lower rarity heroes like rares and even some uncommons and stuff that I think can be very useful to you early game and getting your account rolling and being able to farm more and more resources more effectively. You can see I've already invested some of the chivalry levels in K, a very good damage dealer for me. And I'm also building up Clementine as a rare healer option, which really helped me, honestly. I was using kind of my legendaries to try and clear stages, and I didn't have a proper synergy going on. I actually subbed in Clementine, who is a rare, instead of a legendary I was using, and then I actually beat the stage instead of losing. So definitely play around and look for good synergies on your account and the team you're going for, because you can find some diamonds in the rough here with rares and uncommons and stuff like that. And in order to browse the kit of the heroes in game, you go down here on the bottom left to your hero management, and then you click over to relics. Now, another really cool mechanic about King Arthur Legends Rise is you've got a little bit more customization for your heroes, because they don't just have one kit and do one thing. They've got this relic system in game where there's kind of 3 different versions to choose from. As you develop and collect more of these, you can customize your heroes instead of them being locked into one playstyle. As you can see right here on Merwin, right now I've got the Frost Relic equipped, which means my big 3-cost ability is going to be attack all enemies 2 times, and we're going to be based on Arcane Blizzard with a chance to inflict freeze for 1 turn. But if I flip on over to the Fire Relic, if I was able to acquire this on my account, now look at that same ability. It switches from the cold-based Blizzard Freeze to Phoenix Blessing, which is a chance to grant each ally critical strike damage increase and also ally debuff immunity for 1 turn, while also charging Vigor and an independent chance to inflict attack gauge disruption. So we have a lot of customization and abilities doing different things on the same hero that you're allowed to customize once you collect more of these relics. So when you're diving into play, you want to kind of focus on these 2 tabs on the bottom left of the screen. You've got your power up guide and then also your royal road. So what you want to do is be checking for things like your missions right here. Do these dailies and weeklies and stuff like that, because you're going to get some juicy rewards to help progress you along your way when you're getting started. And then you've got this path right here on the royal road where you've got different objectives that will unlock more and more rewards for you as you're progressing. And then over on the right side of the screen, you're going to want to be clicking through and going through the adventure mode and the story mode of the game to keep this progressing as far as you can go. And then once you kind of hit a wall and it starts to get really difficult for you, that's when you're going to back out and then go do some of the progression type mechanics to dive into the dungeons and farm some of the advanced materials and XP to level up your heroes. And as you can see, this is an area where I can freely move around in when I'm doing questing. So it's not just a click battleware game. You have a little bit more of a live world and a really cool story that you can explore while you're developing your heroes and playing through the game. And then if you ever want to get back to your main estate area, you can just click that arrow up in the top right and then click go to estate, and it's going to go back to that home screen that we were at when I was talking to you originally. And then up here in this restricted area, this is going to be where you do some of the stuff to power up and progress once you get a little bit stuck on that main story. But you don't have to navigate your estate here. You can also do this via a very clean menu, and you just click that area right here and boom, you've got all of those different options. So in the early game, this power up dungeon right here is going to be a definite focus of yours, because this is going to be where you can get your gold and hero power up, and then also those advancement materials that are going to help you level up even further. So now I'm going to show you a battle. Let's go into the Plane of Beasts here, where we're going to fight, and I'll show you some of the battle mechanics as we're kind of diving into farming this on my account. So there's a few things that are really important to understand as you're preparing for a battle. Right now, I've got no heroes placed in here. If I click first, it's going to let me place a hero that I like as the leader to provide me a good leader bonus. You can read through these and kind of select which one looks best. But a feature I really like is over on the top right of the screen. A lot of people miss this. There's this golden star right here. If I click this, it's going to automatically place a team worth trying out for me here. So if you're kind of stuck, you don't know what to try out based on your account, click that golden star. There's no penalty if you lose the fight. You're not going to be charged anything unless you win. So go ahead. If you don't know what to do, click that golden star. Try it out. If you lose, no problem. Try something else out or go farm a different area. You're losing nothing. And they even got things down on the left side, like recommended stage conditions, where it's saying things like, hey, you probably want all of your heroes to be level 35. Okay, there's a check mark there. And then it also has this breakdown right here where you can go into all of the information that's going to be relevant to the stage and the different abilities you're going to be going up against and all that stuff. Then if you click this little information eye right here, we've even got some recommendations on the type of heroes you're probably going to want to consider bringing, like multi-hit and additional attack, because you're going to want to get through the barrier that the boss is using, and you're going to want to hit that multiple times. And then this is amazing. And down on the bottom of the screen, you'll see here this X1, X2, X3. I can put a 3x multiplier on this battle and do 3 runs at once. So instead of me playing this 1, 2, 3 times, I know I'm going to win. I do it 3 times at once, and I'm farming at triple the speed and efficiency. Love that feature. But okay, in this video where we go over the basics, something I definitely want you to understand is kind of how the battle mechanics work. And the most important thing to understand is down on the bottom right of the screen. You can see that kind of teal bar with the 5 different bars, and it says 5, meaning it is full right now. That is going to be the Vigor mechanic, which is going to fill up as you kind of take turns and use abilities. It will deplete and then fill up, and it's a shared resource among your whole team, which decides what abilities you're going to be able to use. So right now it's Clementine's turn. I've got a basic ability right here that's going to generate 1 Vigor, and when I check that, you can see here, that means if I now click on the enemy, it is going to spend that ability. But if I go over here to this one and check that, now I'm spending the number 2 ability, and 2 and 3 are going to be Vigor spenders, which means right here we're going to cast this for a cost of 2. Then this ability right here is going to be a cost of 3. So what I would want to do in this situation is cast the ability 2 so I can top up the heal of my allies. You can see they're a little bit damaged here across the board. I can cast that, and that will take me from 5 to 3 because it costs 2. But I'll gain 1 as I cycle through to the next hero. So my net gain will be going from 5 to 4 by casting this spender of 2 and then generating 1. So let's watch this in action here. If I cast that and then I click on my team to heal them, you can see it go from 5 to 3 on the bar. We cycle through, we go from 5 to 4, and now at my next turn, I've got a different hero who is up, and they've got 4 Vigor to spend. So I'll go ahead and pop this on auto so you can see kind of what's going on. And it will kind of manage this in an auto capacity where you don't have to super worry about it and play manual all the time. It's perfectly fine to play the game on auto. I know lots of people like to do it that way, and you can. I just want you to understand how the system works, and then you can go a little bit more deep dive with it and set up your team in special ways where you kind of tell the game to manipulate that Vigor bar in a certain way as you're playing and casting abilities in certain orders and stuff like that. So this team is designed to kind of blast through that barrier. We want multi-hit abilities like it was telling us in the description. And then if I play on auto here, my team is going to be strong enough to take down this stage fairly easily, and I can farm it pretty effectively. But I did want you to understand how the battle works. There's a lot more mechanics like the element system and frost and wind and fire countering each other that you're going to want to pay attention to. And there's even things like day-night cycles and mechanics like heat that we'll dive into in future videos. But you do want to pay attention to these different symbols and set up good synergies based on the content you're trying to tackle. And also try to remember to pay attention to this down on the bottom right. They've got battle stats they provide you where you can get a good breakdown of the damage dealt, the damage taken, and then the healing output of your roster, so you can see where you're getting the most value, maybe who is slacking a little bit, who to think about replacing. And you can also get a full breakdown of who used different abilities and all of the different kind of like maxes of their highest damage ability, and a lot of good data here on the battle stats. And I could talk for 2 hours showing you some of the different mechanics here in King Arthur, but I did want to at least get you an initial thoughts beginner video and help you through some of these different mechanics. I think it's going to be a really fun game for you to try out, and it's free, so why not? You can transport yourself back to Arthurian times with King Arthur Legends Rise and become a Camelot legend today. I've got the links down below that you're going to need to try out the game, and you can try it out on any device. I actually play on my mobile phone, my iPad, and then also here on the PC that I'm on right now while recording this video. So all the different platforms work, and you'll have everything you need down below. So remember to subscribe because I'll have a few more videos covering King Arthur and some of the other deep dive mechanics involved with the game. Appreciate everybody. Cheers. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.